I'm curious. Well, what's interesting about this too is it's a combination of point and click, where you move the character around. Whereas in Ron's stuff, like you'd click on a certain area of the screen, the character would move there. Here, it's a predetermined path, but you get to decide where you go.
Sure.
So I'm super curious. We spent so much time drawing this guy. Because he's in our image, he's in our watercolor with the wings extended.
Oh,
This guy right here. I love him. Love his voice.
Hey, you with the white walls.
I love what he does if we ignore him. Or if we decline, he gets really pouty.
Who did that? I don't remember who.
Okay, don't mind me.
It's not Scott.
No, it's not, because he doesn't have that little
But I'm really curious.
raspy thing.
Does he have a name, Lori?
No.
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 Okay. We, non-canon people as we are, we named him Dipper.
Yeah.
Dipper. Okay.
Now
Dipper.
that was Animal Tag, if I'm remembering this correctly, there were some of these little repetitive games that got put in after scripting.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
that might have been one of them.
Interesting. Okay.
And then I wrote the script lines, or somebody did, because they're just pretty,
Yeah.
Did you ever audition any adults for Putt-Putt's voice?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
It is a great question, and
Confidential.
no, I'm trying to remember. I don't think so. We talked about it, and there's that whole voice change issue which you ran into.
It sounds like Mike Mattingly to me.
But I don't
No, it's not.
think so.
Okay,
We certainly did for Freddie, because that was
and that was her voice.
Yeah, that was.
And
her
then we
voice.
know that Nancy.
And then Mike, who was Luther.
Right,
was his
right,
voice,
yeah.
We all know Nancy Cartwright did Putt-Putt, which boosted her career
Right.
completely.
That was it. I know.
That was
Bart-
her.
It eclipsed.
That was, it was.
Bart Simpson.
Yeah, she's done a few other roles. I can't remember off the top of my head.
But that was interesting directing her, because she had her own way of wanting to do it.
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
we auditioned a lot of women for that role down in LA. And she was the closest. She came the closest, but it was really trying to get her, channeling her to be you as much as possible with that kind of innocence. And from an actorly standpoint, it probably made her crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it really, we wanted to capture that sort of that sweetness and simplicity of that character.
I just want to say I'm doing this specifically because the rhinos in this game made me almost piss my pants as a kid. They were so funny. I mean, all these sound bites, but what the rhinos do with their lips. We got these guys. Okay, come on. Hey, you got me. Yes, this is hilarious. But these guys. It's just so. One of the artists told me that it might have been Sandy Spangler who was responsible for that. Seems like a really great person. She was an animator on the crew. But that's anyway. We're done with Animal Tag. We got stuff to do. Round 23. Yes. I can't press escape to skip this because I'm away from the keyboard. Okay, no, it's okay. There we go. Yes, I really want to leave.
Yes, I do.
I know that voice is going to drive me crazy.
We might be able to find it in the credits. Maybe. Or it might be just additional voices or something. All reunited. Oh, we didn't have our talk with sad Mama Mombasa.
Jumbo? Hey, Mama! It's Putt-Putt who saved you from that terrible mouse. Putt-Putt.
Timothy pointed out a kind of interesting thing to go off of that whole adult thing. I thought it was pretty cool that you guys hired a lot of kids to do these voiceovers for Putt-Putt and for other games. And, a lot of people didn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, part of it too was the market here.
Sure.
If I was in LA, we probably would have.
Yeah, maybe gone.
We would have gone for an adult voice just
That makes
because
sense.
of continuity.
Yeah.
But here, we just didn't have it.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
didn't have that kind of.
Yeah.
If you had that kind of voice, unless you're Annette Tutangi,
Yes.
who wanted to live up here, and she could have done a great. Made a great living down in LA.
Yeah.
Most of those people go to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Do you still stay in touch with Annette at all?
We're Facebook friends.
Okay, good. Yeah. You should add her.
Counts.
Beauty of Facebook.
I like her.
Yeah.
Her posts.
There's a Facebook alumni group for Humongous.
I'm on that.
Yeah, you're on that. I browse that every now and then and see some cool stuff. Sammy's in trouble. We got to go help her. Let's get over to Jungle Land. Let's get this shit done. Let's go. Grasslands was beautiful to me, though. Seriously, I sent Derek a couple emails. We were in contact because I wanted him to do some art for the album, and he couldn't because of an exclusivity contract with PopCap, his current employer. But wonderful guy, very, very kind. But I had to tell him how much his art influenced me on a kid. I thought, like, if heaven was real, it looked like the Grasslands and Putt-Putt Save the Zoo because those colors were so luscious and beautiful. And I had a thing for big, wide open spaces, and I actually at the time hadn't seen The Lion King. But just those plains and the idea of, like, you can just go through the zoo and all the animals are just, like, happy to be there and just hanging out and, like, hey, what are you up to? And you can feed them. Oh, here we go. Rhyming monkeys. We're going to just wake them up.
Yeah, probably 30 pages of rhymes on that one.
I have them all. And boy, some of them, they did it somewhat late at night as well. And they started spinning some interesting rhymes that are on the tape. I don't think I can release.
Say this for the truth's sake. Okay. Can you dig it?
So that's George, that's Kevin, that's John. John, this monkey, is the premier disc golf course designer in the world.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Very weird. John Hook. Just
Wow.
Google his name and people will be
That's
like, oh
amazing.
yeah, John Hook, disc golf. And he was a roommate of George's in college. And he said, and he has a great voice, and George is like, hey, come on over. I've got this monkey you could do. And he's like,
Wow.
oh, sure.
Did you record these, Tom? I don't.
The monkeys?
No, they did that.
They did that down
That
there.
was all
Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'll borrow this toolbox.
Borrow. Yes. Capital
Yes.
B. And you will be returning it
Yes, of course. Of course.
after the game is over.
Right, of course.
Credits are rolled. Oh. That cave scared me as a kid. That was a deep, dark. And then I got to thinking about, like, she squeezed through it, and I like the way her head
so
looks
sad.
there. Yeah. She's so disappointed.
Aw.
Lori, what was the developmental process on this? How long would it take to do a game from
a good
start
question.
to finish?
I wish I could remember.
It's from animation all the way until the VO.
It's a long time.
I can't. I wish I could remember. I just can't. I mean, the first Putt-Putt was a lot faster. That was probably 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they moved
This
up here
one-
and they
but
were
then
in
the
the
animation
house.
got much more.
They were in the house
sophisticated.
for this one, weren't they? They were still in the house in Woodinville.
95.
For this one, I don't
This is the
remember.
Because I remember Mike was doing a lot of editing,
Uh-huh.
and they had given him a special computer to do it.
Yeah.
And then when he was done, he'd have to bring the computer over. And when I was editing lines, I would have to bring it over to him too.
Huh.
And we'd go over to that house in Woodinville.
Yeah.
And it was
yeah.
like this little ranch-style house.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you walked in, there were people on computers everywhere, in the bedrooms, like in the kitchen,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
were all working because Ron moved up here and he had to start going right away. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. I love the way she's animated here, by the way. She looks really good.
That was a big change going from that house
To
to
the big.
the big
Didn't
giant.
they have a leap in between? There was a place in
Yeah,
between.
there was a place
yeah.
in between,
Yeah, and
but
then they
then
went to that really
pulling up
super,
to that humongous
so to
building.
speak. Yeah.
I remember that building.
Yeah.
Really?
Was it in Redmond?
Yeah, it was in
Yeah, it was
Redmond.
Redmond,
It was
yeah.
right
Yeah,
near
yeah.
Mackey.
I
Mackey
went-
and Designs.
I went and visited both the humongous buildings a couple weeks ago just to see them. One is now a carpet cleaning company, and the other is the really big one is Boeing. It's a piece of Boeing.
I bet those
Really?
carpets needed
Yeah.
cleaning after they moved out.
Yeah,
Late night pizzas. You know,
yeah, I bet. That's a good point. Oh my gosh. These click points, and you call them what? Trip toys?
Oh, Trip Toys.
Trip
yeah.
Toys
That was
were
that.
the-
Yeah, that's my. You
The
know.
official name.
Well, I don't know. That's official. It's a non-official name.
This guy was hilarious to me. I don't know who this is. Who the voice is here?
Is this where Zanzibar lives?
Yeah, it is, but he ain't here. He got lost somehow.
Maybe I...
Ooh, just a single dad who means well. You know.
Good, I really owe you big time. I missed the little rascal.
You know, an East Coast hippo.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah,
you have
you know.
everywhere. You have Australia. You
Yeah.
have the East Coast.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's Bob Zank.
Oh, really? My gosh. Okay, we're gonna go visit Freddie Fish real quick.